Yeah, production certainly matters. You look at if ball's caught. One thing that we evaluate on defense is our havoc rate. So that's the percentage of plays that you create a TFL, forced fumble, interception, PBU. But it kind of evaluates all positions, right? And if we're hitting higher at a higher havoc rate, that can evaluate, hey, if we're making plays on the ball, keeping completions from happening, you can evaluate that. Guys that get interceptions but also give up big catches, explosive plays, obviously that's not what you want.
You talked about Christian, the obvious familiarity with him and Coach me before, but how much because of what you try to do with simulated pressure and having a corner that has instincts as a true outside corner for TFLs, that just his skill set was important in acquiring him and bringing him in?
Yeah, we want good corners, so he's a good corner. It certainly matters, not just for simulated pressure, but for every coverage. You got to have guys that can cover in this league.
Triquez's experience playing corner before, I think maybe safety now. How valuable is the ability to have experience doing a couple different things like that?
Yeah, it's funny when you start talking about DBs and what we want our guys to be able to do. You're not looking for guys that can only do one thing. You're looking for guys that can do multiple things. So Triquez having the ability to cover a man in the slot, or even be able to play press at times at corner, and then have blitz ability, coverage ability, the speed to be able get to the middle of the field is certainly something we look for at all positions.
Along those lines, where do you see Bennett kind of fitting best, and where is he in terms of being backwards 100% at this point?
Yeah, he's moving pretty good out there. He's working at star, safety position, both for us. It's kind of like we talked about position versatility with Bennett. He's a smart player, so we're trying to get multiple reps for him in multiple spots.
Is Dante one of those guys as well that bounces in and out, Dante
Manning?
Yeah.
Yeah, right now he's working primarily at corner, but like today we did some drills where we threw corners inside, so we've done multiple things. The more they can handle, the more we're going to pour on them.
We saw with Jalil last Thursday, he was already taking reps with the second team. Just now that he's been here for 3-4 practices. What do you see from a true freshman where you're throwing him out there with guys higher on the depth chart already?
Yeah, we really don't have a first, second team, third team. We got green group, yellow group. It's moving every day. You'll see, and if you're out there trying to pay attention to that, you're probably paying attention to the wrong thing, because we don't have a depth chart right now. But the key is reps, and it doesn't matter if you're a freshman or a senior. You got to go out there and get reps to get better. So we want Jalil to get reps as soon as possible.
When you mentioned the havoc rate in particular, how important is it to you is the spring and identifying who the next ball hawks can be? When you're losing 11 out of 17 interceptions from last year, and the guy who led the country in interceptions, how important is this time compared to fall camp and identifying who that player could be?
It's certainly important. It's important all the time. Coach Lupoy starts every single meeting with, shot callers, guys that are getting the ball, getting near the ball, and the way we're impacting plays. So we're always going to show examples of that. It'll be the first thing we do in each one of our defensive meetings.
Quarter way through camp. You're quarter way through camp. Just how do you evaluate what you've been able to accomplish? I know you guys are always never satisfied, but just how do you evaluate this first quarter?
At this point, I'm excited that our guys are competing. They've come out here every day with a growth mindset, looking for opportunities to get better, but there's still so much room for growth. We're not ready for a game yet. We got a lot of work to do. That being said, I think everyone embraces that, coaches included.
You mentioned losing some players on the defensive back position. 11 out of 17 interceptions. Adding back that depth. How do you like to see your team build team chemistry off the field? When you add more players.
Yeah, as we add guys, to me that might be one of the most critical pieces. We're looking to see how well do our guys know each other on, but also off the field. The other day we had a couple of our guys stand up and talk to us about their roommates. Tell us something you don't know about your roommate, or the rest of the team doesn't know about your roommate. Thought that was kind of special. So we're trying to dig a little bit deeper into those relationships beyond just football. Good, yeah, obviously a good relationship there in the past of what kind of player he was, and that piece was big.
So it's like Scully guy? Or?
That doesn't matter.
Looks like Patrick Herbert was moving around pretty well today. How is he progressing, and what does he add to that room that's already pretty solid?
Yeah, I think Pat's been really eager to get back out there on the field, so I was excited to get to see him get some work. It's so easy when you're off the field and not able to get in there and involved to kind of fall out of the circle and fall out of the focus of what you got to do on the field. And we want to get these guys back as quick as possible, but I'm excited to see Pat get out there and really pick it up pretty quick.
It's quarter of the way through camp. For a lot of these veteran guys that have been a part of a certain system and staff for a while, can be big changes of just the day-to-day routine. How have you seen your juniors, your seniors be adaptable so far through this quarter of camp?
Yeah, at this point, well, we've early in camp, it's certainly a shock and a difference, but we've been pretty consistent with our times, our approach. We're trying to keep that consistent so our guys know what to expect and what's next.
When you were putting together your staff, you talked about West Coast connections. I think Demetrius, who we're speaking with today, embodies that better than most. His experience out here, he's worked at a lot of different schools. How's that been maybe valuable for not only the team but you?
I just have a tremendous amount of respect for Demetrius and the way he operates day in and day out. He's truly a relationship guy, and if you think about the two things that I said, I want guys that can teach, guys that can form real relationships, and guys that can develop, right? Relationships and development, and I think that's what Coach Meade is, right? It doesn't matter if you're a corner. You can be an offensive lineman. He's going to be able to connect with you on the team. His personality resonates. It's infectious through our building. So I certainly appreciate his approach.
You guys have promoted the high school clinic you guys are putting on this weekend. And how beneficial is that for you and your staff as well, being new here, helping them, but also helping you?
Yeah, we just love to connect with coaches. Like, we love coaching football, and this, in my mind, you know, our job is to give, right? And if there's any knowledge that we can share that can help improve a program, we want to be able to do that. But don't mistake it for the fact that we're not going to be pulling some ideas from them as well, right? You know, I was a high school coach. I've got a tremendous amount of respect for high school coaches and the job that they do, and we have a lot to learn from them. So I'm hoping that we can, you know, pick their brain for a couple things as they're up here as well.
Having coached the top defense in the nation last year, how close, how encouraged are you about the talent level here at Oregon to get to that, close to that point?
You know what's funny is when we were working on becoming that last year, we never put that as the goal in mind. You know, we wanted to be the best we could be the day that we were that, you know, there, one day at a time. And it's really, truly the same approach here. We're certainly not the top defense in the nation yet. And I don't know that we will be. It starts with tomorrow, right? What kind of work are we going to do tomorrow? And if we want to be that, it's going to take a lot of hard work.
If you could describe your first 4 months in Eugene in a couple of words, like what would those be? Just your experience your first 4 months.
How many words?
Just a couple of words.
Two. Love. Gosh, that wasn't very good, was it? Yeah, I got to work on that. Yeah, I love Eugene. It's just been awesome. My family loves it here. It's a special place.
We haven't talked to you too much about just the importance of, you have the whole offensive line returning. I know, well, with the exception of Jordan Moore, the starting offensive line returning. How important is that as you go about installing an offense and the running back core, and, you know, the quarterback situation, having those 5 guys up front?
Yeah, you certainly love having experience, right? You love having experience, and, you know, offensive lines are unique. They have a real true bond with each other. I think this group is no exception. Coach Clem's done a really good job of, you know, taking his expertise and building upon it. And these guys had a lot of experience before, but I love the fact that they're looking for an opportunity to grow and get better.
What have you seen from Big O Big in particular, and when Alex was limited last week? Just what have you seen from him so far?
Yeah, just compete, you know, competitive toughness. You know, you see that out there, and a guy that's got great size, but it's bending and trending and working to get better each day.
It looked like early on you were kind of getting on the guys for a lack of energy. After that, do you feel like you guys had a successful practice? You at the energy level?
Well, there's certainly room to improve. You know, ultimately, I don't want to start a practice and us not start it the right way, right? It doesn't matter if we're stretching, right, or we're in period 1. Like, we're going to restart it if it's not going right? There's no reason to be out here if we're not going to do it the right way.
Didn't see the football out there today, I think.
Yeah, same.
You mentioned Coach Clem. Do you feel you have a quarterback who can dunk on him like Big Ben?
I don't know. That's a good question.
With the offensive line, coach, it looked like Jackson Powers Johnson might have been with the offensive line for the part that we were able to see. What's his role looking like right now, given some of the personnel moves on the offensive side?
Yeah, we'll certainly continue to evaluate. Jackson's been an absolute trooper. He works his tail off every single day, and I think if I asked Jackson to go out there and play quarterback tomorrow, he would do his best to go out there and play quarterback. He loves the Ducks. He works really hard for us. We'll continue to evaluate where he helps us the most. Appreciate it.
Thank you.